What's up, everybody? It's the Bipolar Prophet, and welcome to Court Farms and Farming Simulator 15. So if you remember in a previous Old Ridge episode, I was contacted by the bank that I do most of my business with, and asked if I would be willing to come down to a farm in the area and sort of get the harvest done for them and get all the grain sold off and everything. And this is the farm. This is Court Farm. It's about an hour drive down from Old Ridge down here. And this is sort of the main entrance here. We just stopped here. I sent Perry and Phil down yesterday afternoon to come down, look at the equipment. I was thinking I was going to have to bring my own harvester, but I didn't. There's still a little bit of equipment left here that hasn't been auctioned off yet. I believe the auction date is set for 10 days from today, so we kind of have to get a move on. There's several fields that need to be harvested, and they also want all the grass cut and baled up because somebody is going to come along and pick up all the bales. So there's lots of work to do, and I'm certainly willing to do it for the bank. The bank's been really good to me, really helped me out, and it's nice to be on that list of people that they contact for stuff like this. It's always sad when a farm goes out of business. Apparently this farm at one time was 500 acres, and as you can see, it's absolutely beautiful. It's a beautiful area, it's sort of been sold off into lots and chopped up and everything. And the bank is just really looking to sort of sell off the last of it, recoup as much of the loan money that they can get. Apparently, the guy who owned it before took out a massive loan sort of right at the end of the working farm's life, bought some new equipment, and then just decided, well, I can't do it anymore. Sold off as much as he could and skedaddled, And unfortunately, that's kind of how it goes, Most farmers will hang on to the bitter end. I know I would, until the bank physically came and started trucking my stuff away, and I just didn't have any equipment to work the land with anymore. But apparently this guy just looked at it as sort of okay, well, I'm gonna take out this loan, I'm gonna make as much money as I can, and then I'm gonna dash, which is unfortunate. But I really hope somebody comes along and picks this farm up because it is very pretty. So I guess that's enough talking. Let's go ahead, jump in the truck here, and go up to, you can see over there in the field, that is a Massey Ferguson combine, and not a very old one either. It's kind of cool. I haven't got to use a Massey Ferguson before. Actually, I came down later because obviously I had animals and everything up at Old Ridge I had to take care of. So it's a weird place for the mower, but okay, I guess that's where they left it. So I know there's been a lot of trucks in and out of here, hauling off equipment and stuff. They've sort of auctioned off the majority of it. There's a couple of brand new Hollands though that they left. Obviously, the bank knew they had to leave a certain amount of equipment for me to work this stuff, for me to do the harvest. Apparently, all the grain has already been, is going to be sold to this place that's not very far from here. Interestingly enough, it's there's I think this is a T7 270, and I think there's a T6 250 left on the farm. So, and then this kind of old and slightly beat up Joe Skin silo space tipper, but that's okay. I can see the boys have already brought the header trailer over here and everything. I think Perry said that he cut in the headland already. So I think I will let him run the harvester, and I will do the carting. So let's see if we can tab around here. Yep, there we go. Let's get that fired up. Can't really hear it though. Oop, that's too loud. That's too loud. That'll work. Let's see. I think we have some IC in this thing. Yep, we do. Get that down. Gotta bring the HUD back up for a minute so I can get Auto Combine kind of doing its thing. And of course, it's not actually gonna work, is it? Gonna have to give it a little bit of a head start here, I guess. Turn those off so I can see what I'm doing. Wow, why am I getting so much lag all of a sudden? That's interesting. Okay, now, there you go. There you go. Are we still on? Oh, we are. Okay. You need to go away. Why can't I make that go away? Left Alt and space, right. Oh, I know why. Because I'm in the middle of a hired worker. That would explain it. Geez, BP, have you ever played Farm Sim before? I was kind of hoping this wouldn't be too much of a, too much of a faff, but, you know how it goes, right? Okay. There we go. No sense leaving straw. Apparently whoever's buying the bales only really wants grass, so... Am I still... Why can't I move my mouse? I all of a sudden cannot move my mouse. No, that's not it. Oh, there we go. My mouse decided to catch up with me. Very good. This is a neat combine. You know, I've never used a Massey Ferguson combine before. It's not too old. It's been around for a little while, but not too bad. You know, and the New Hollands are very nice as well. So I was going to go ahead and hide that again. Now, obviously, in game terms, I had to come and I had to set this up. So I had to give myself a bunch of money. This isn't a Let's Play. This isn't anything like that. It's just a little bonus thing that I decided to do because I really like this map, although it is very high spec and it does make my computer work pretty hard. So if there's some lag, you know, that's just going to be how it is, unfortunately. But I figured in this episode, we'll try to get at least this field harvested. There's this field. If I bring up the map here, well, once I bring the HUD back up, that is. There's field 8. There's field 4, which is split into 2. And then there's a couple of grass fields that need to be mowed as well. I think 24 and 25 need to be mowed. Maybe 28. I'm not 100% certain. The bank liaison should be along at some point today to tell me exactly what I need to do. So I know that one of the first things I needed to get done was to get this crop up out of the ground, get it cut, get it sold off. So it was good that I didn't have to bring any of my own equipment down. You know, I'm always a little concerned about having to haul my equipment, you know, not that far in this case, but far enough, you know, that, you know, you never know what could happen on the highway. So when the bank called me and said, hey, you know, the bank liaison called me actually and said, you know, this stuff's ready to go, and pretty much all the equipment you're going to need is down there. So, and it's funny because Perry and Phil came down in their very old and beat up truck yesterday, and apparently overheated on the motorway, I guess. They called me and said, well, we're stuck on the side of the road, we got to wait for this thing to cool off. So okay, very good. You know, they got here you know, fairly late in the afternoon, and you know, decided to you know, run through the equipment, make sure it all works, and cut in a headland to see how the combine actually functioned. It seems to be working just fine, so may not be a bad idea to hop in the New Holland. And oh, there's the other New Holland too, obviously. Oh, now one thing about this map that I have discovered is that everything is collidable. So probably help if I turned off the brake. This is a pretty good sized tipper. I'm pretty happy about the size of this tipper. So shouldn't take too many trips back and forth. This is a pretty good sized field. You know, again, according to the bank, at one point this was 500 acres. This farm, so you know, a good sized farm, obviously far bigger than mine. You know, it's too bad. I would imagine that when they auction this off, it's going to go for big money. You know, even if you just get the main farm. Because a lot of the other fields have been sold already, apparently. So they were sold by the previous owner of the farm. But, you know, this is going to be millions and millions of dollars, you know, that I certainly do not have. And I can't really, you know, I don't have the manpower to run more than one farm at a time anyway, so. I was thinking about trying to maybe put a bid in on this Massey Ferguson, though. I believe that the auction guy that I talked to said that he thinks it's going to go about $380,000, which is a lot of money. That's a lot of money. So I don't think that'll be something that I'll be able to buy. But now, is there any chance I can paste this guy to unload him? Or yeah, I think we can do that. So. You know, again, it's always sad when you get to these, you know, you have these farms that are, you know, that were once, you know, huge and prosperous and everything else, and then they just slowly sort of deteriorate over time. You know, and a lot of that is just the fact that it costs so much money to farm now. You know, equipment is so ridiculously expensive. Everything is so expensive that it's, you know, you get to the point where you just can't afford to do it anymore. You know, you never get out of debt. You never get out of loans. you're always paying a loan. You're always in debt with somebody. Grain prices are down, milk prices are down, fuel prices are up. Although I will say that lately fuel has dropped in the UK pretty significantly, which is nice. But I think I'll let him turn and then I'll just keep pacing him, I guess. But it's still so incredibly expensive that if you're not, it's all about efficiency now. Everything is about efficiency. If you're not, running your farm as efficiently as possible, then you're going to lose money. And the more money you lose, the less you can pay back to the bank, the less the bank is probably willing to give you. Of course, I am in the way. So, and then you just get to a point where you're insolvent and you cannot, physically run your farm anymore. You can't buy equipment. You can't, maintain your equipment. You can't buy diesel, and then all of a sudden, the for sale signs and the auction signs start coming out. So again, to get back to the game for a minute, it's more laggy in one direction than it is in the other, probably because this has a super high def sort of map boundary background thing, as you would expect for a high spec map like this. It's funny because I never had any issue running any map in Farming Simulator 13, but now, as these maps get more and more advanced, as they get more, sort of, detailed and pretty and everything, you start to run into problems. Come on, BP, make a sentence. You start to run into problems about, being able to run them. And of course, everybody knows my abacus. I'll tell you what, it is working pretty hard to run this map. But okay. I wanted to make this video, it'll probably be a couple of videos because there's a lot of grass on this map. And if I have to mow it all and rake it and bale it all, it's going to take quite a while, so. I probably won't stay down here. I'll probably take we'll come down here, work for the day. I'll take the hour trip, back to, am I full? No, I'm only 50% full. Take the hour trip back to Old Ridge and take care of my farm and then come back and do whatever's got to be done. If it was any longer of a drive, I'd probably stay down here, but then I'd have to get somebody to come down and take care of my animals for me. So, which is why I'm glad this, could wait until my potato harvest was done. Because now I don't have anything in the ground besides the corn, and that's going to be a week or so, probably 2 weeks before that's ready to be cut anyway, so. I believe there's wheat and canola that need to be cut. This is obviously wheat. If I could stay under the pipe, that would be nice. Keep drifting off here. Perry's in the combine going, come on, BP. Not the first go-around with this sort of deal here. And Phil is actually over in the main farm running through the mowers and the baler and everything. Apparently the baler is brand new. It's only been used a couple of times, so should be interesting. It's always cool to, as sad as it is, it's always cool to come to somebody else's farm and use equipment that maybe you don't use on a regular basis. So I gotta say, if I thought I could possibly swing this combine, I may pick it up. It's a little big for Old Ridge, for my for my fields anyway, but it may not be bad going down into the future, or going into the future for when we get up to, we start buying more fields and stuff. I think I'm just going to let him go round and round, just because all the hedges are collidable, because the fences and everything are collidable. In the way that Auto Combine likes to turn, I think it just makes more sense to just let him go round and round. That way he doesn't get stuck on stuff, and we can just be efficient. Go, get this done as quickly as possible. So obviously the bank's going to pay me a little bit for this, so that's cool. I will say that these big New Hollands are very nice. You know, again, do I need them on my farm? Not at all. I certainly don't need them on my farm. You know, the equipment that I have, although my big case, my fancy Puma, my CVX is more powerful than this. These New Hollands, you know. Really? Okay. Well, we're just gonna have to let him turn now. I'm such a lousy carter. No wonder Perry and Phil always yell at me. You see, this Joskin's been around for a while. It's a little beat up, you know, but it's not too bad, and it does its function, and it's road legal. So that's kind of the big thing for me, you know, that I can actually take it down the road and sell the grain. So, what are you doing there, Perry? Gonna make a weird turn. Okay, very good. Now, normally I wouldn't pace the combine like this, but I really don't have a whole lot else to do at the moment, so. Realistically, I could have just sent my hands down here. I could have just sent Perry and Phil down here to do this, you know, and I could have stayed up at Old Ridge, but I wanted to come down and check it out and see what it looks like. I may not stay down here the entire time, like I said, you know, because obviously I have animals and whatnot to feed, so. Only 70%. This thing holds a ton of grain, as you would expect. You know, I'm not really used to tippers with this sort of capacity because I don't need them, but the yield isn't awful. You know, again, that's not really my concern. You know, my concern is just getting it up off the ground. So. I suppose if I was smart, I could set the cruise control. And once he makes his turn, that'll take that problem out of the equation. So. One thing I didn't see kicking around the farmyard was any weights for these tractors. So either they didn't get the weights or the weights got sold pretty quickly, you know. What unfortunately ends up happening a lot of times, you know, with farms, and not so much with this one because it didn't really sit unattended for very long, is that stuff gets stolen, you know. People come in and just steal stuff, and it's too bad, you know. But this farm has an older gentleman named Thomas Dean, I think his name is, who actually was the caretaker of this farm, appointed by the council of this area, I guess, to sort of keep an eye on it. So. And it's a very, I mean, you know, the house is great. You know, it's a great house. I haven't been into it, obviously. It's all locked up and everything. But the bank did say that they would provide me the keys if I was, you know, interested in staying here. But I don't think I will. I don't think I need to, you know, so. The old tongue is still acting up a little bit today. It's not too bad. I don't know if you guys can tell the difference or not. It's been steadily getting better. It got all the way better a couple days ago, like I said in the last Old Ridge video. But then the weather changed and it started to act up again. So, but it's a lot better today. It doesn't hurt. It's just a little swollen, so I still have a little bit of a lisp. Can definitely feel the weight of this grain, though. Even as powerful as this, I think this is the 270. So, you know, 270 horsepower, I believe it is, or 260, somewhere around there. we're making good progress, I think. I think we're doing okay, you know. This field is not, you know, it's big, certainly bigger than any of my fields. But it's not so massive that, you know, I should slow down a touch, I guess. That it's going to take, you know, 4 days to do, so. Yeah, the lag is worse going up the hill here than it is going the other way. It's weird. I don't know why, but... And, of course, you know, I got a lot of highly detailed models here, too. This Massey Ferguson is a pretty detailed model. These New Hollands are pretty detailed, so... I need to go a little bit faster. I don't have all that many mods in the mod folder for this, obviously. Just the ones that I thought I needed, you know. Because, again, this isn't going to be a regular thing. It's just going to be sort of a little, maybe 2, 3, 4 videos, you know, a little bonus sort of deal, I guess. Get a little closer to the pipe. Apparently there's duals for this combine too, but Perry didn't feel the need to put them on. He said that, you know, the ground isn't wet over here or anything, so he said didn't really need them, so no sense wasting the effort to put them on and then have to take them back off again. So. Yeah, you know what? The more I look at this thing, the more I think I should come down and maybe try to get a bid in on this thing. I don't know, obviously, what it's going to go for. You know, the auctioneer believes it's going to go about $380, so... Because it's not very old, doesn't have a whole lot of hours on it, you know, and it's in pretty good shape, so I guess we will find out. Obviously, I'd have to sell my my New Holland, you know, and then the bank would want, you know, its bit, so. I know back at Old Ridge, I have grain I have to sell, I have potatoes I have to sell, you know, I have corn I have to chop, so lots of stuff going on, you know, but I couldn't really pass up this opportunity to come down here, make a little money, and, you know, get to do some interesting stuff. Come on. Get up there. There we go. Probably be helpful if I was getting it in the tipper. Now, the bank liaison did tell me where this, where the sort of grain co-op is, where this stuff is actually going to be sold. So hopefully I can find it. You know what? Let's go right now. I think 97% is full enough. Go ahead and hop in the cab. Turn on the beacons. And we will go find this grain co-op. I think in this episode we'll harvest this field. It may take quite a while, but that's okay. You know, it's certainly something to do. In the next episode, we'll be harvesting the canola, and then in the episode after that, we'll be mowing. Probably be a couple episodes of mowing and baling, and I'll show you sort of the main farm. I haven't been around the entire property, obviously, because I have no need to. I have no need to go around the property, so. Now, I believe if I go straight across here, down this road. Yeah, this over here is canola. A couple of good-sized fields, you know. It's really one field split by a road, so. And then this is a neighboring. I don't know if this is a neighboring farm or if this was an associate farm. It's called Ladybank Farm up here, but. And the place we're going, I believe, is called Churchfields. Churchfields Farms. So. For those of you who may not know, this map, to jump back in the game for a minute, this map comes from FSUK. It's called Court Farms Limited. It is a high-spec map, though. Just be aware of that. You know, it need. Now I'm not running it on max, obviously, because I can't. But oh, I cut the curb there. Let's go to another part of the country and show off our awesome farming skills, shall we? But yeah, this map's available on FSUK, so if you guys haven't already, definitely go check it out. Yeah, this would be the place. So this would be where we are selling all our grain. Very hilly over here, but you would expect that. You know, Old Ridge is hilly too, so. Churchfield Farm. Churchfield's Farm? Grain store, yep. Cereals, oils, oil seeds, and what does that say? Vegetables. Okay. Little narrow to get in here, but alright. Oh, I gotta give it the beans to get up this hill, apparently. What am I stuck on here? Am I really stuck on this tree? Yeah. Oh, looks like I'm gonna need some mechanical assistance here to get up this hill. There we go. Ooh, that's an interesting place to come into. Now, I believe I have to come in here and turn around, and then go down onto the scale, obviously. So, oh, I'm not gonna make this turn. I'm not gonna make this turn. No way. Not with this big Tridem trailer. No way. Nope. Nope. How am I gonna do this? Obviously, this trailer's been up here numerous times before, so it shouldn't be that much of an issue. Oh, no. Oh, BP, what are you doing? What do we weigh here? 26 is the whole 26? Yep, 26,741. I just didn't know if the whole trailer was on the scale or not. Now, just get to the tip point here somewhere. There it is. And off we go. So, I wouldn't worry too much about the money. Obviously, there's a ton of money in the in the game because I had to buy a bunch of stuff. I had sort of an idea of the stuff I wanted to use in the game. So, Jesus, that's a big tipper, huh? Wow. I couldn't use this at Old Ridge. It's too big. I wouldn't be able to move it around. Oh. I mean, I could just about get it up this hill. I don't know what was on, what was on the property for equipment, before everything got sold off. I have no idea. The bank is not really forthcoming with a lot of information outside of what you need to operate over here, so. Yeah, it's always nice to, obviously I love working my farm. I love Old Ridge, that's why I bought it. That's why I've stayed there for as long as I have. That's why I plan on staying there. But it's always nice to come out and do some other stuff once in a while. So when the bank called me about this opportunity, I was like, certainly, I'll certainly do it if I physically can. One thing about my farm, with the amount of stuff that I have going on it, sometimes it's tough to leave, but as long as I'm back for milking and to feed my animals in the afternoon and everything, I should be okay. So probably spend 8-10 hours here a day till this is all done. Now let's see, can we catch up with this harvester wherever it may be? Oh yeah, he's moving right along. Oh, Perry was like, "Oh, you know what? It's really nice to be able to drive on on a fairly square field once in a while." He was pretty impressed with that, though. I will say my case is more comfortable than this. This is sort of the Spartan cab. As you can see, it doesn't have all the bells and whistles. It's got GPS and all that. It doesn't have the dynamic traction control and the dynamic stability control. The compaction control and all that that my case has. But to be honest, realistically, do you need all that? No. I only got that, because it came with the tractor. So, because that tractor was a special edition. And Chad gave me a pretty good deal on it, so. Yeah, we should be able to finish this field in this episode. Why not, right? And then the next episode, we'll do the canola. I scare the shit out of Perry when I do that, too. When I turn into the header like that, he always gets a little nervous, like I'm going to smash into him. Trust me, I don't want to smash up somebody else's equipment that's going up for auction, so. Speed up a touch. I wish I was cool and could do this from inside the cab, but we all know I can't do that, so. At some point, I'd very much like to get a joystick, and get it programmed to work with FarmSim so that I could use a joystick for throttle control like you would in a real tractor. I think that'd be really cool. All right, let me get out of the way. I don't know why I bother with these when he goes up the short end. Not like I'm going to catch him before he gets there anyway. Just have to back out of the way again. There was no mention of doing anything with these fields. Obviously, they're not going to, there's no point in doing a lot of groundwork. Am I still in the way? Yeah. And planting anything else when there's nobody running the farm. So. I guess Thomas is going to stay on until, somebody comes along and buys the farm, so. I hope they keep him, He was actually the one who set up all the sort of contracts to sell the grain and everything, which was very helpful, obviously, so. Seems to be a very nice gentleman. Hopefully they keep him on, whoever buys the farm. If I get about halfway up the tipper, maybe. And then, of course, immediately swing the tipper out from under the pipe. Do that in real life, you're dumping grain all over the ground, and believe me, somebody's not going to be happy with you. In this case, it would be the bank. They would be very unhappy with me if I did that. Now, if I was smart, which of course we all know I'm not. Oh, easy. This is a bit of weight. You don't want to be spinning it around that much. Snap the damn hitch right off the tractor. You know better than that, BP. Come on. Probably help if I got a little bit of grain in the back of the tipper. That might help stability a little bit. I'd be curious to see what this tipper is going for in the auction. Might be good for potatoes and stuff. It's a lot bigger than the Dezor. I know when I did the potato harvest over there at Old Ridge, it was a lot of trips back and forth. So the problem is I just don't have I don't really have the room for big equipment. You know, it's too hard to get it around. So this thing turns pretty good though, so it may not be awful. Can I get a little bit of this action going? There we go. Always forget that's a thing. Just got to get in the right spot on the tipper so that I don't outrun the pipe. There we go. That'll work. Yeah, I got to say, I really like this combine. The more I look at it, the more I like it. Oh, BP, where are you going to get $380,000? I figure I could probably sell my combine for maybe 170, 180. Of course, if I bought a new combine, that would mean that I'm not buying any more fields or anything this year, you know. And I just don't know. I don't know if that's a purchase that I want to make or not. Well, there's a pretty good chance we could actually get this all done in one day. Not in one episode, obviously. We're going on 40 minutes now. You know, me basically driving around in circles. But maybe in one day, and then it'll take probably a day to do all the grass, you know, all the mowing and raking, and then probably a day to do the baling. I would imagine. And then, of course, all the collecting of bales, too, which I somehow forgot about. You know what? I'm not going to mess with that. I'll let him make his turn. It's too narrow down there now to try to catch him on the short end. So just go ahead and make your turn. You can see that meadow right there. That's one of the meadows that need to be mowed. It's a good-sized meadow, so going to be a lot of bales shifting. I believe everything's going straight for hay too. I don't think it's going any of it's going for silage. So at least that's the information I have at the moment. That may change. All right, figure it out, BP. Figure it out. Get 2 full tippers off of this. Almost 60 tons, maybe. Pretty much all the mods I have on this, and if you guys were curious, come from FSUK. The New Hollands are part of that massive New Holland Spartan bundle from the modder who modded like every New Holland in the range apparently. They all have some features. Some of them have dual wheels, some of them have front loaders, some of them have weight holders that go on the front. Almost all of them have some sort of animation in the cab, with the joystick and all that. So definitely worth checking out. The Massey Fergusons come from Mod Hoster, I believe. I believe they might be available on FSUK too. These are just the Masseys themselves. They're not part of that whole AGCO pack with the Gleaner and the cats and all that. I didn't need all that, so I decided, there was no point in me downloading it. The McHale Fusion 3 baler that you guys saw, that is the 3, the new version of it. That comes from FSUK. I'm pretty sure this tipper comes from Mod Hoster. All stuff easily, you can find it if you don't already have it, so. As usual with these roleplay sort of things, there's a lot of jumping in and out, of character, so just because there's stuff, in the game that I need to talk about, or there's stuff I want to tell you about, so. Why are you bothering with this? Why are you bothering with this? Go get lined up over here. Yeah, I think realistically, the Combine is probably going to be out of my reach. I'm not going to be able to get a bid on that, but I may be able to get a bid on this trailer. It might come in handy for potatoes and sugar beets and things like that. So I could sell the Dezor or just leave the Dezor strictly for manure now, I guess. And whatever other bulk, non sort of, food items I need to haul, I suppose. Where aren't we going? Cruise control in this is a little iffy. I guess I'm just used to the case, I suppose. I will say it's very enjoyable when everything works, huh? When Auto Combine's doing its thing and it's working right, you can just paste the Combine with a tractor and a tipper, as they do in real life. It's just a lot of fun and very efficient. I mean, you can see, 45 minutes to do this field, not too shabby, I think. So, well, it'll probably be close to an hour. This will probably be a fairly long episode, but why not, right? It'll be fun. So, at least I'm having fun anyway. Now, I'm going to be smart, and I'm going to meet you up here. Because there's no point in me trying to chase down this little short edge, so. You can see that this map has that sort of high def map boundary background thing, which I really like. I like the fact that it looks like there's life outside of the map. You can see all the fields and everything. I think it's really, really cool. So this is a very well done map, very pretty, very high textured, very well detailed. As you can see, even the lag makes my mouse not want to work. So come on, T7. Yeah, looks like we're going to get another load, so that's good. Maybe another load and a little bit extra. I believe there's some in the sheds that need to go too, but the bank was more concerned about getting the stuff out of the ground first. Then it's going to be a lot of that little stuff, getting the sheds emptied out and everything. There's no animals here. Obviously, the animals are always the first thing to go when a farm shuts down, because obviously the animals need to be fed and maintained and kept healthy and everything, so. I was a little surprised they wanted the grass cut, but apparently they had, somebody had come along and said, hey, listen, it wouldn't be bad to cut those meadows, and I'll take the bales, buy the bales. So I guess the bank, whatever money they can get back, obviously they're not going to get back what they're owed, but and the person who owned this farm before is going to have to, come up with that money somewhere. So you're never really ever out of debt as a farmer. I mean, never. You're always in some sort of debt, unless you are very, very successful or you have been in business for a very long time. Guys like maybe the major, but I bet even the major carries a little debt, for equipment and stuff. So, I mean, $380,000, in an auction for a used combine. Now, is it going to go for that? It might, depending on how many people are, wanting it and how many people, whoever thinks it's worth it. So, obviously, the auctioneer's been doing this for a long time, knows what he's talking about. So I'm guessing brand new, this is probably close to $500,000. Oh, that would be my guess anyway. $500,000 for a combine. Even my combine I bought from Shawnee B, I still paid $220,000 for it because it was pretty new when I bought it. So, look, I am full again. Excellent. All right, let's go get this sold off. But yeah, these are good models. You can see you get a lot of animation, so that moves, and I believe the center stock moves as well. Yep, if you come to a complete stop, you can see it moves. So, and I would bet if I switch directions, that moves as well. Yep, it does. Very cool. And there's all kinds of, you can take off the fenders, you can hide the front loader console and all of that. So, if you guys haven't checked that out, go check that out as well. Available on FS UK. You sound like an advertisement, huh? Now, hopefully I have a little bit of an easier time getting up this hill. Boy, I would never want to bring a semi-truck up here. Speaking of that, I need to go take I believe Kylie is in the process of taking her course now. And like I said, I'm going to join her for the last 2 days for the sort of pre-test stuff, the preparation stuff, then obviously the theory test and the road test. So it's funny because there's an online sort of study guide and everything, and it's massive. It's like you download it in PDF format. It's like nearly a gig. And I've sort of been going over that at night. In fact, to be honest, it's been a little chilly at night in Old Ridge, so I've been having a nice fire going, a little glass of whiskey and my book, and fall dead asleep to it every night. Fall asleep in my big old chair that I have, that I sit in at night. So it's been a lot of long days on Old Ridge, so you get tired, and the whiskey and the warmth of the fire and just the comfort of my house, my house has a lovely smell too. My house smells like I don't know. I don't want to sound stereotypical, but it smells like Old England. It's got a lovely leather and wood smell to it that just for some reason relaxes me and makes me want to fall asleep. So especially when I've been out in the dust and the mud and everything all day. So. Now, any chance we can get up here a little easier this time? Probably not. I don't know why I even bother. I could just go right over the tipper, but right over the tip point, I mean. But there we go. I'm not concerned about the prices. All this money goes directly to the bank. So, whatever they decide they want to pay the bank, that's up to them. I'm not concerned about that whatsoever. So, I wish they would have left some weights kicking around, though. I do have weights on the wheels, on the rear wheels, as you can see, but no weights on the tractor itself. So. Every so often this map just lags, you know, and that's my computer. It's certainly not the map. If you have a powerful computer, you're going to have no issues with this map whatsoever. You know, it's another Chellington, another map like that. You know, it's very high detailed, very pretty. You know, the textures, you know, lots of layers and lots of textures and stuff. So obviously the old Abacus is going to struggle a little bit with it, but I'm still having fun, so. Wow, this turned out to be a much longer video than I thought it was going to be. I could have cut this into 2 parts, I guess, this harvest, but I figured, yeah, why not? Let's just get it done, you know? Oh, and then we'll come down and do the canola, and then it'll be all the grass. And if all the grass needs to be mowed, that's going to take quite a while. And I need to talk to the bank liaison and get the final confirmation on whether it's all going to be hay or whether some of it's going to go for silage. I don't know. So, as it stands right now, the fields that I know I have to cut are going to be hay, but there may be some silage in there somewhere. So. Perry should be about done by now, I think. There wasn't that much left to do. I'll unload him one more time, take it down and sell it, and then we'll call this an episode. Let's jump out here for a minute. Yep, he is done. Oh, you're not going to put the pipe out for me? You're going to make me jump out and do it? Oh, jeez. He's probably in there having a sandwich or something. That's okay. Get to show you kind of what this looks like. Oh. Am I too close? I'm too close. Well, get out of the way then, Perry. And I'll just do it myself. You just hop over there in the passenger seat and have your sandwich. And I'll take care of this. Don't worry. There we go. Fold that back up. Jump in the cab. So, yeah, you know, again, not a bad model. You know, some animation. Obviously, you have the joystick and all that. Oh, and also, this works as well. Backup cam. Nope. This works. This is the what do they call this? If I can find it, the GTA 500 is sort of the status of, you know, of the grain and of what's going in the tank and fuel and speed and all that, which is pretty neat. Let's go ahead and shut that off for now. Set the brake. I certainly, whoa, that's a long drop down. I certainly wouldn't mind, you know, buying that combine. I just can't afford it, so. Take this last 921 liters of grain down to the church fields here, and we will call this an episode. Nearly an hour, but not bad, you know. It's a good size field, and it was a lot of fun. So, what's the old adage? Drive it like it ain't yours, right? They go to auction this stuff, and they'll be like, "What happened to it?" Well, you know that American, right? Yeah, well, that's what happened to it. So I guess while I'm doing this, while I'm driving down here, I can do my outro. No sense extending this any longer than it needs to be. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Again, there's going to be quite a few episodes left of this. We're going to cut all this canola. I don't know if there's any other fields that need to be cut. We will find out about that. I'll have a meeting with the bank liaison here in a little while. He should be here anytime. And we'll talk about what grass fields need to be cut, what needs to happen with the grass. Obviously, we know we need to cut the canola. I believe that's going up here to church fields too. I think everything is. I think they're just sort of buying everything, you know, just to make it a little easier on the bank. So hopefully you guys like this. If you did, please click the like button. As you guys know, it helps me and the channel out a whole bunch. Moves me up in the search recommendations and all of that. If you saw this, you saw, you know, Old Ridge Farm episode, whatever this is, you know, contracting at Court Farm, and you liked it, please click the subscribe button. It's the best way of being notified of when I make a video, which is pretty much every day, and at the very least, if not every day, at the very least, every 2 days. Jeez, Get through a sentence, BP, huh? Also, if you haven't followed me on Twitter, it's at Bipolar Prophet on Twitter. Check me out on Facebook at Bipolar Prophet Gaming or Bipolar Prophet Gaming on Facebook. And hook me up and check me out on Steam. Hit me up with a friend request. I'm not quite as active on Steam, as far as chat and stuff goes, as I used to be, but I'm trying to get back into it, and I always appreciate the friend requests and everything. So, oh, that's not going to happen. I don't know why I bother with this. I really don't. One thing I've discovered about these tractors is, and it's probably just a function of this tipper being so big, is that they don't turn all that great, But that's a big, heavy tipper sliding around back there, so that could very well be what it is. All right, we'll get this dumped off. And as always, guys, thank you so much for all your tips and suggestions and comments, interaction. You guys are awesome. You know that. I always say this, but I really, really mean it. I'm going to just shut this off for now. I could make videos and I could do this without you guys, but I wouldn't want to, you know what I mean? When I first started this, it was all about me and, just making videos and having fun and everything. But now it's really become about the community, about you guys, about my friends. And I really consider every single one of you friends. And thank you so much for all of that. It means more to me than I could possibly express. And as always, thanks for making me a part of your YouTube day. And this is the Bipolar Prophet saying, see you later.